जैसे मुझे भी रहा इतने सालों बाद, पंजाब इतनी पुरानी बात थी, आई वाज़ जस्ट अ स्टूडेंट, तब से मैं गया था, तब मिला था, फिर एक बार स्कूल में, देन व्यापम की जो मीटिंग्स होती हैं, देयर आई मेट हिम, तो आई डिडंट रिकॉग्नाइज हिम, तो ही वाज सिटिंग नेक्स्ट टू मी एंड कीपिंग क्वाइट बहुत समय तक। तो मुझे फोर्स कर करके और वो सैटरडे क्लब बुलाए, तो वो एक बड़ी बात थी, हाउ टू गो टू पीपल, कॉल देम, हैव टॉपिक्स, हैव गुड डिस्कशंस, सो दैट इज अ मेजर इंटेंजिबल कंट्रीब्यूशन। सिटीजन्स फोरम हो सकता है कुछ लोगों को ऐसा लगता हो कि उस तरह का आउटपुट नहीं हो पाया, बट द आइडिया टू स्टार्ट इट बड़ी बात थी। देन ही वाज वाइस चांसलर ऑफ भोपाल यूनिवर्सिटी, वो भी एक बात थी। तो उनका इंटेंजिबल कंट्रीब्यूशन है, एंड वी वुड लव दैट यू ऐड समथिंग मोर टू इट। आप जहाँ से बोलना चाहें बता दें। Wherever you, if you feel comfortable here, this is all. Wherever you.
I'm okay here, but I must set the record straight. You did not warn me that I'm supposed to speak here. It's not that I can't speak about my father. I can speak endlessly about my father, but
More of Bhopal
a
connect.
little warning would have been
Yes.
much appreciated.
Okay.
So, um, so to talk about my father as my father, I think that's what you want to hear from me. A lot of you already know him from a different perspective, from the other side, as a founder of the club, as you've all met him and you know him. Uh, for us, as his children, his daughters, he was completely an indulgent and devoted dad. I mean, one couldn't have asked for anything more. He was larger than life presence in our lives and has had a huge influence in the kind of people we are, how we have grown up, the people we've become, our aspirations, our character, our likes and dislikes. He's had a huge influence on all that. My mother, of course, equally a strong person. My father, of course, you all know, 1953 batch of the police service. I've seen photographs of his younger days when he was a young officer, very dashing, motorbike pe, and people used to say Devanand Khidr. But I think, of course, he was much more handsome than any actor or more handsome than any other man alive as far as we were concerned. And but he's always inspired us. He was somebody who was totally honest, upright, uh, believed in justice and fairness, equity, and these are all, I think, very important and precious qualities, not only in the workspace but in every facet of life. Whether you are, interacting at home, interacting with your family, with your helpers, with friends, and these are things that we imbibe by observing him. It's not that he lectured us on such things, it's just the way he behaved with everyone. And he was out and out a decent person, very gentle, polite always. One never came across him, raising his voice to people, uh, which was so contrary to what is expected of, I suppose, a policeman. The image which is built is of somebody who is, rough and not very polite in language, but he was not like that at all. Very erudite and well read. For us, at least for me, he was uh, he was better than Google. I mean, anything I didn't know, I would go to him, and that's something I still miss. I miss awfully even now because so much is happening around which one doesn't understand, and the thought comes to the mind frequently that hote to puchte, he would have been able to analyze it and tell us so much. And his analysis was very incisive and very good. His language was excellent. I mean, even when he sent a birthday card, he would choose. I mean, दो लाइनें लिखते थे, but those words were so carefully chosen that they were just so loaded with love and the feeling that he had for you. So these are all very precious things. He had a fantastic sense of humor. I don't know if any of you ever saw that side of him. He loved telling stories about from his childhood and from his all his experiences, and phenomenal memory. छोटी छोटी बातें भी याद रहती थी, डिटेल सारे याद रहते थे पुरानी बातों के. एंड every visit to Bhopal for the last so many years, the morning walk with them, with both the parents, used to be routine and something we all look forward to. All of us do it every time. I have two elder sisters, and whenever we come, that morning walk is a must. So we used to set off, and Daddy would, of course, my mother would do her walk and go back home, and he would say, "We चल थोड़ा और चलते हैं, थोड़ा और चलते हैं." And रास्ते में कहानियां सुनाते हुए जाते थे, whether it was tales from about the Sikh gurus or it was about Ranjit Singh and history, and he knew so much. Everyone learned so much from him. Um, a lot of qualities like discipline. He was very meticulous, very organized, and how important these are. I think these are something. These are qualities that I have imbibed in a big way. He was a sports person, very fond of tennis. He spent many hours, I think, at the Arena Club playing in the 1960s when he was here, posted as SP. And he was fond of horse riding. He was fond of long walks. He loved traveling, particularly England. I think the pubs were quite an attraction, and the long walks in that weather. कहीं भी चले जाते थे. He loved horses, but I think didn't like dogs because he got bitten by dogs a few times during his morning walks because he would be taking shortcuts through obviously places where he was not supposed to be, so the dogs were not happy. So that also, and of course, I mean, I don't know what else to say. My father is still such a huge presence there, in the house. So we talk, we joke, we remember him a lot, and miss him even more. And I don't know what else to say, but I could go on and on, but I don't know. I don't think I should just be rambling. It may get a bit
So,
boring.
Shashidhar, I would also like to, add to what she has said. She has said from the perspective of a daughter, but I have been meeting him off and on. दिल्लन साहब का घर जिन लोगों ने गए होंगे, उनकी ड्राइंग रूम, उनकी लाइब्रेरी, एवरीथिंग वाज सो मेटिकुलसली प्लान्ड, ब्यूटीफुल, दे वर वेरी गुड होस्ट. और आज सुबह ही मिसेस दिल्लन का मेरे को फोन आया था कि आप जाने वाले हो क्या वहाँ पर, एंड ही स्पोक अबाउट हर. So I also remember having met him as a sports correspondent when I was a sports correspondent. He was vice president of Indian Hockey Federation. Not many people know that he was also involved in hockey, and the rival groups in those days. अश्विनी कुमार साहब भी एक बार हॉकी के फेडरेशन के प्रेसिडेंट थे. फिर ढिल्लन साहब बने, पंजाब के डीजी बने. उन्होंने पंजाब पुलिस के ऊपर जो किताब लिखी वो मेरे को गिफ्ट करी, बाल वाली किताब. So he was a wordsmith. People know him as a police officer, but he was an extraordinary author also, and he knew, as you rightly said, he knew everything under the sun.
आने वाली फोटो
And
लगा उसको books
his
के
loss
साथ.
is not only of the loss of Bhopal, but really, when such bureaucrats are very difficult to find in today's times, Shashidhar, and all of those who had met him, Dylan Saab, so Naidu Saab, the William would say. So I did not belong to Bhopal when I came here, and I got in touch with it. I was also among the founders of Bhopal Citizen Forum, so NCHSC में इनके यहाँ पर बुश साहब के साथ में. मेरे को हमेशा लगता था कि बुश साहब सबसे सीनियर जिसको कहते हैं ब्यूरोक्रेट जिनसे मिला हूँ. मेरी केएस राठौर साहब से वो हुई, दोस्ती हुई. But he was also 59 बैच. इंदौर में ज़्यादा पोस्टेड रहे, क्रिस्टल के वो रहे, बाद में डीजी बने मध्य प्रदेश के. बट दिल्लन साहब was much more senior. He belonged to 53 बैच, I think. But उनका जो he was very unassuming character and very very helping, और बहुत दोनों को साथ में बहुत इन लोगों को वो कहते हैं तो that he is not here. So he has also shaped in such a manner that जब यूनिवर्सिटी में थे, जब उन्होंने बहुत डिसिप्लिन इन्फ्लिक्ट किया, भोपाल यूनिवर्सिटी की हालत हम सब लोगों को मालूम है कि what kind of university is that, I'm sorry to say. But then he was what he was, and we all miss him. Thank you.
Thank you for the
I'll just add that you may be knowing also, he was a mentor to a lot of people. He spent 3 years at the academy in Missouri, and I think for him it was, I mean, his probationers who are now, they've all retired, are such senior officers. Everybody remembers him. Everybody remembers him. So that was, I think, a thing of interest and his passion to be, sharing and teaching.
Mr. Dillon was a great bureaucrat. Unlike a police officer, a very soft person and very fond of good food. I had the privilege of hosting him during 65 to 67 when he used to come on Saturday to my house with Mr. Manor Keshav. And what I found that unlike the police officer, Mr. Dillon cultivated a taste of doing things better. And that better things made him the DGP of Punjab and various other functions. But the character which he wanted to create with the Barkutala University also was laying a discipline with very soft words. So that softness I have not seen in any police officer which Mr. Dillon carried. And Mr. Dillon wanted to do things better for everybody. And he did a lot of work on the police manual and the removing the old act and all that. And Mr. Kapoor has the complaint that Bhopal doesn't remember Shankar Dayal Sharma. Bhopal has a temperament to forget people, and they do not remember anybody who has done great things for them.
Okay. So anyway, you've just the things I wanted to add. Kardekarji's done it. You've done it. I wanted to mention about sports, so you've done it. One thing which I slightly thought that he was fibbing. He said, "I remember everything from my childhood." He said, "I remember we used to share the Pakistan Connect also. My family came from Lahore." So he would say कि मुझे एक एक दिन का वो याद है. I used to think कि थोड़ा ज़्यादा बोल दिया. But over a period, second thing that you mentioned, mentoring wali, I have not seen. He's been a fellow at the School of Advanced Studies also, Shimla. But here, he wanted, in the inaugural issue of the School of Governance, he wanted a paper. कम से कम मैंने उनको 10 बार मना किया होगा that I'm not a bureaucrat. Why should I write? I knew I could write, but I would write philosophically. But he eventually forced me, coaxed me, जबरदस्ती लिखवा दिया उन्होंने. I don't think anybody else. Padamveer Singh ji was there. He's from my college. I refused him also. But it's only when Dillon Saab said कि you have to write, तो मुझे लिखना पड़ा. And I feel really proud of that. आज मैं उसको कई जगह दिखाता हूँ कि so that point also is proven. Thank you very much. जो कुछ लोगों को इस रूम में थोड़ा सा शक था कि डिलन साहब का कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या है, इतना ही जो बताया, it's intangible mostly. And we promised that at least 1 year. I have promised everybody here, next year somebody else will take that baton. मेरा commitment BIC में सिर्फ 30th June 2024 तक है. I have said that on day 1. तो तब तक I give a guarantee that we will do at least one more activity, क्योंकि 1st June is before 30th June 20. कुछ करेंगे. If you think about something, do let us know. Amrita ji ko I have requested, she'll become a member. Anybody else who's come here, we have a tradition of making him or her already member. So thank you very much once again. We move to now next session. Next thing is about, as we've said, we look at things which are lesser known. That's why I've given the title of Above the Radar and Below the Radar. And one thing which I heard Kothari Saab saying for at least 6, 7, 8 years, that nobody knows about Bhopal. So in a small way, I sort of forced him कि आप ही कुछ शुरुआत करिए. तो एक छोटी सी कॉर्पोरेट फिल्म HEG के बारे में है, which initially was the biggest industry in private industry after BHL in Bhopal. And there are a lot of things they've done, लेकिन लोगों को पता नहीं. He was associated with, I think he's still associated with HEG. So there's a small corporate film, 10, 11 minutes. And whatever additional information that he has, he will add to it in 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes. So we'll play the film first, and then Kothari ji will add to it. Chala do film. this. ये इस पे लिखेगा, हाँ देखिए छोटा है लेकिन
HEG Limited, एक LNJ भीलवाड़ा हम हैं HEG लिमिटेड, एक LNJ भीलवाड़ा ग्रुप कंपनी। HEG की स्थापना 1972 में फ्रांस की सबसे बड़ी इंडस्ट्रियल कॉन्ग्लोमरेट पेशनी के सहयोग से हुई थी। आज हम वेस्टर्न वर्ल्ड का सबसे बड़ा ग्रेफाइट इलेक्ट्रोड प्लांट ऑपरेट करते हैं। स्टील के उत्पादन में आवश्यक ग्रेफाइट इलेक्ट्रोड एक अत्यंत ही हाईटेक प्रोडक्ट है। इतना हाईटेक कि आज दुनिया में केवल 5 ऐसी कंपनियां हैं जो इसे बनाने का सामर्थ्य रखती हैं। इतना हाईटेक कि पिछले 50 वर्षों में किसी पश्चिमी देश में भी कोई नया ग्रीनफील्ड प्लांट स्थापित नहीं हुआ है।